Hey, what's going on, guys? I've been Vesper in a review. This time the Marvel Legends Demogoblin Build-A-Figure Wave Vulture. I've been wanting a new classic Vulture for a very long time, and here he is, and he looks awesome. See me on the side. You can see the figure on the back and all the figures in the wave. And yeah, let's open this up, in my opinion. Looking at the accessories that Vulture comes with, he comes with the head for Demogoblin. This guy looks sick, man. Look at that. I cannot wait to build him. And then he comes with two interchangeable heads. Adrian Toombs head. Looks really good. I'll get into this in a second, but this looks really good, man. And then he comes with this head sculpt, which is actually the classic look of him, more of like the look that he had towards his first appearance in the 60s. And a lot of people make that meme, chilling with the boys. That actually came from the Spider-Man 60s cartoon, which this is kind of reminiscent of as well. Taking a look at Vulture himself, this guy's really cool, man. I'm just happy that we have this guy finally, a classic Vulture figure. And he came out really cool, and there's a lot of cool parts to him. I do have just two gripes with him. It's not too big of a deal, but I'll get into that in a second. So first, looking at this head sculpt again, see that he's an old man, and this head sculpt was really done well. All the paint detail, all the sculpting. See his ear, and then you can see the pink underneath his eyes. He actually really does look like an older man. Not as elderly, but still you can tell that he has some age, especially with these two like dark spots up here. So yeah, he's definitely elderly. He's got gray eyebrows. This looks really good. Just a great head sculpt. And the other one is like that as well. It's not as old, but it's still old. And looking at the rest of the figure, I really do like the suit, man. The suit came out really cool. So it's basically a green figure, and then you got the lighter green up here with some stripes. It's not throughout the entire figure, but just this upper torso is cool, man. I do like that. And then these wings, man. These wings came out really cool. I like the design here. Get a little 360 of that. That's the other part. I'll get to that in a second as well. You got this collar. It's made out of feathers, I think. It's actually removable. It can move up and down, actually. So if you really wanted to, you can take it off. You can see the legs and whatnot. Then the hands. I'm not sure if these are new, but they look good. They got veins, and you know, they actually look like they're kind of elderly. I'm kind of young, but I mean, these look like hands of a young man, old man. Looks really good. What kind of fascinated me about Vulture is, one, the fact that he was able to stay alive for so long, and two, that he's an older man buff, which I always found funny. But the cool part of the figure is the wings, once again. Now, these wings are cool and whatnot. You gotta put them on the right way. These wings are cool. So this pegs in here, and this pegs into the back of the shoulder, all the way back here. That's cool. And the one problem I do have with this figure, as far as the wings, is that they kind of come out easily, especially on this one. This one just falls out. You know, yeah, it doesn't really stand too long. And the other problem I do have is with the shoulder joint. So it moves forward really well, but it doesn't really move back too far. And you really want to get those cool flying poses with Vulture, and his arms just don't go back too far because of his butterfly joint. You would think it does, but it just really doesn't. But that's unfortunate. But other than that, great stuff here. As far as the articulation, I removed the lower wings just so I can get a better look. It looks up, it's down, side to side, left and right, all that good stuff. Arm moves back and forth, up and down. There's a butterfly joint. Like I said, it moves in pretty nice, but it doesn't really move back, and that's pretty disappointing. Here's a bicep swivel, double joint at the elbow. And the wrist moves side to side, hand moves up and down. Ab crunch, it actually moves forward pretty nicely. So if you wanted to get a hunch back for Vulture, that's pretty good. It moves back, but it doesn't stay back too far. I mean, sometimes it just kind of like springs forward, and that's sucks. There's a waist swivel, leg moves forward, back, and out. Swivel at the thigh, double joint at the knee. The foot moves up and down. It actually moves up pretty far. That's good. And he has an ankle pivot. Here he is next to Ultimate Vulture, which I'm actually really glad that we got this figure, and I hope that we get more characters from the Ultimate Universe. But anyways, just a size comparison or look to see how they look next to each other. And let's get some mixing and matching. See if these wings come out. Well, actually, these wings won't fit on here. But I mean, if you really wanted to, I guess you could. So, I mean, you can't mix the wings, but the head sculpts, this is the younger guy. This actually isn't Adrian Doomes. If you actually read the Ultimate Universe, he's actually a different guy. Let's see if this fits on there. So, there's a portion in the comics where Vulture was able to absorb, it's going to sound crazy, younger people, so he can become young himself, and they would become old. So, I mean, I guess you can do that. But he did have hair, though, but it is what it is. And like I said, this isn't Adrian Toomes in the Ultimate Universe, but you get the idea of how that would look. And that as well. That kind of looks like the MCU version of Vulture. That's pretty cool. And if you really wanted to, if you wanted Vulture to have a mask on, this is the Ultimate Vulture's head sculpt. That looks pretty cool. But for me, in my photos, I'm going to keep it with this head sculpt. And I really do like how this head sculpt looks. Here he is next to the Pizza Spider-Man. And they look good next to each other. But I think we really need a new classic Marvel Legends Spider-Man. Just red and blue. Maybe on the Spider-Man 2099 body. Or the Kane body. But, I mean, this is like a 5-year-old figure. And I know a lot of new collectors that don't have a classic Spider-Man figure. So, getting a new one would be really cool. And here he is next to the Mayfix Spider-Man. And these two look really good next to each other. Mayfix Spider-Man is probably my favorite Spider-Man 6-inch figure. And, you know, I'm going to have it obviously compared to this. But it looks really cool. So, yeah, Vulture came out really cool. The wings popping out is a little annoying. But just having a classic Vulture figure finally is awesome, man. Definitely needed if you want to have a classic Spider-Man's Rose Gallery. And get on the hunt. Find him. He's really cool. All right. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you later. Peace.